Hello, everyone. Hi. I'll wait for some of you to tell me you're on. Hi, Gail. Let me just finish telling someone something. Wait for a few more of you to jump on. Okay. Um, all right. Hi, Gail. Um, our garage is flooded. So I didn't sleep well, first of all. I'll wait for a few more people to jump on. All right. So um, I do have my tissues. And I know you all were wondering where I was, but I tried to let you know. I always try to put something on the timeline that says if we're starting later than usual or if something's changing. So just know that I'm trying to communicate. Okay, so good morning. It's 8:20. I'm sorry I'm so late. Our garage is flooded and I've been pulling things out of the garage to get to the things that were most everything's in plastic bins, but some things were still in regular boxes. And I had to get them out and I had to move furniture and bikes and everything. Um, and the picture, I'll try to post a picture later. You'll see what is going on. I'm grieving. Can't help it. I've got the box that was mostly wet were all my Bibles and journals. So this is the second time that we've had our stuff ruined. Okay, so, and I didn't sleep well last night because I woke up with a pretty vivid dream, which was fine, and there was nothing wrong, but then I got into a conversation in the middle of the night with someone that was really difficult. But then I was able to go back to sleep. Um, so whoopee, here we are, huh? Okay, so yeah, I just need the Lord. I was fine until I just saw the damage right now. So, Lord, I just pray that you bring your comfort and restore what can be restored. In Jesus' name. So, we're in chapter 30, and this is called Battle of the Brides. And yeah, so page 87. When Rachel saw that she could not give Jacob children, her jealousy toward her sister simmered. So she said to Jacob, "Give me sons or I'll die." Jacob became furious with Rachel and said, "Am I God? He's the one keeping you from bearing children." She replied, "Here's my servant Bilhah. Sleep with her. She can be my surrogate. Then I can have children through her and build a family." So Rachel gave her servant Bilhah to Jacob as another wife, and Jacob slept with her. Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son, and Rachel named him Dan, saying, "God has vindicated me. He heard my voice and gave me a son." Then her servant Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, saying, I've wrestled mightily with my sister and I won. Meanwhile, when Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children, she took her servant Zilpah and gave her to Jacob as another wife. Zilpah bore Jacob a son, and Leah named him Gad, saying, "What good fortune!" Zilpah bore Jacob a second son, and Leah named him Asher, saying, "Oh, happy day! All the women will say, 'She's happy now.'" One day during wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrake plants. That's why there's a mandrake on the timeline in the field and brought them to his mother Leah. Rachel said to Leah, "Please give me some of your son's mandrakes." Leah replied, "You already took away the affection of my husband, so now you're going to take my son's mandrakes too." Oh, sorry, it's a question. "So now you're going to take my son's mandrakes too?" Rachel said, "All right then, I'll let him sleep with you tonight in exchange for some of your son's mandrakes." People, I tell you, I don't know what they're thinking. Um, okay, so let's just back up a bit and get some of the meanings of these words, these names, and see what the Lord wants to say. First of all, our words have power, and Rachel foolishly said to Jacob, "Give me sons or I'll die," and we will find out later that she actually does die in childbirth. And we just need to, I'm constantly, not so much anymore, but used to always try to help my kids with what they let out of their mouth. And yeah, our words have power. So she was throwing a fit basically, and Jacob wasn't going to have it, and he actually became furious with her. And it seemed like all through here, I kept thinking, "Where's the counselors? Don't they have counselors back then?" Because these two both have problems with their siblings. It looks like there's just a lot of rivalry and anger and frustration and jealousy with Rachel against Leah and with um, Jacob and his brother Esau. And I just think, it's funny now that I think about it. Esau is the one angry with Jacob, and he married the one angry with her sister, Rachel. And there's a verse that says deep calls to deep, and sometimes I think some of our unfinished stuff or things that God hasn't been allowed into draws us to another person in an unhealthy way. And there's the counselor in me that wants to help them resolve their issues. Um, so he's mad and he's saying, "I'm not God. I'm not the one that's causing you not to have children." So he was doing his part, and there was still no fruit, and she was getting upset, and so she calls for a surrogate. And I guess surrogate practice was common then, and still I guess is happening today, of course. And so they usually, I guess, use their servants, and um, then they build their families, around the children that are born through their surrogates. So she gave Bilhah to Jacob to be another wife, and so that's three now, I guess. And Jacob slept with her, and Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. And I guess Rachel, was given the son to raise, and his name was Dan. And Dan means to judge or to vindicate. And she said, "He heard my voice and gave me a son." Well, maybe not exactly the way God had planned. And then Bilhah conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. Rachel named him Naphtali, saying, "I have wrestled mightily with my sister, and I won." So Naphtali means to wrestle or to contend. And then, so she's got this contention, jealousy, and rivalry going on between she and her sister. And Leah saw, oh, and then Leah saw that she had ceased bearing children. So she's going to get back at Rachel now, and she gets her servant, Zilpah, and gives her to Jacob to be another wife. I don't know. Is it really worth doing all this? And Zilpah bore Jacob a son, and they named him Gad. And that means what good fortune or what good luck. Like going to Reno for the weekend or something. Just don't know what else to do. Zilpah bore Jacob a second son, and Leah named him Asher, saying, "Oh, happy day." And all the women will say she's happy now. So actually, the word Asher means happy one or happy, and totally reminds me of my friend's son, Asher, who was with us until a year ago when he died, but he was such a happy, happy person. All of his childhood, I remember him just being a barrel of fun. Um, yeah, what a blessed man he was. So, and then one day during wheat harvest, Reuben found some mandrake plants. And mandrake plants, I wasn't familiar with this, so I looked that up, and they're really useful for many different ailments, but um, they're called love apples, and they had an erotic connotation and were considered in that culture to be an aphrodisiac. So, um, and then Aphrodite, the Greek goddess of love, beauty, and sex, was known as Lady of the Mandrake. Did you already all know that? And I'm the only person that didn't know that. I don't know if you guys need some mandrake plants in your life, but maybe sell them at Home Depot. I don't know. That's funny, isn't it? You already took away the affection of my husband. That is so sorrowful to me. That is so painful. And now you want to take my son's mandrake plants, and that's funny to me. So sorrowful and then funny. Their values are so weird. What were you saying here, Michelle? I do not understand this time in life. Where was the commitment to the partner? Sleep with this person and that person to have a son. Yeah. And the value for women, I think, was less than what we, are appreciated, at least in a Christian environment where I, I'll just speak for myself, so appreciated and honored and loved. I don't know what it was like back then. Doesn't sound like you were the one and only, like you're saying, Michelle. Um, so that evening, when Jacob was coming home from the field, Leah went out to meet him and said, "You must sleep with me tonight, for I've paid for your services with my son's mandrakes." Yeah, I just feel like you, Michelle. I'm like, here, like, here's my um, unplanted apple tree, and now I get to have sex with you in exchange. I don't know. Anyway, so Jacob slept with Leah that night. Woohoo! God listened compassionately to Leah's cry because that's who he is. He's compassion. Uh, and she became pregnant and bore Jacob a fifth son, whom she named Issachar. And she says, "God rewarded me for giving my maidservant to my husband." So, I don't know what God thought about all this too. Maybe I mean, the word Issachar means reward. I don't know. We'll have to ask the Lord what he thought about all this. Once again, Leah conceived and bore Jacob a sixth son, whom she named Zebulun, saying, "God has given me good gifts for my husband. Now he will accept me, for I've given him six sons." Six sons, starting with Dan and here ending with Zebulun. Zebulun means honor or to raise up or to accept. Now he will accept me, for I've given him 6 sons. Lastly, Leah gave birth to a daughter, and do you know what her name was? Dinah. You remember Dinah on TV? Dinah Shore? That's who I always think of. Or I think of that song, Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow? Dinah, won't you blow your horn? Someone's in the kitchen with Dinah. Dinah means vindication, though. That is a strong name. God listened to Rachel's heart cry and had compassion on her and made her fertile. She conceived and bore a son and named him Joseph, saying, God has taken away my disgrace. May Yahweh add to me another son. She named him Joseph. Wow, this is incredible. That means he added another. That's what Joseph means. So all these kids are popping out. And, you know, all this basically shenanigans are going on. So, any thoughts here? I don't want to go any further because there's some deal making going on in this next portion of chapter 30, and I think we'll save that for tomorrow. But does anyone have anything they want to say? Because I don't feel like this is one of the most profound sections we've been in, but I'm glad that we're being faithful and going through, continuing where we feel like we're, you know, blasted with the Lord. Like some mornings I feel like I'm just in shock with how much He shows us. And then we have this morning where it just feels like foolishness, but maybe that's just a way of God showing us how much we need Him. We all need Him. And it's easy to look at other people and think, what were they thinking? That's what, my response is. What are they thinking? But somebody's probably thought that about me too. And our responses aren't always perfect in every situation. Our desperate hearts look for fulfillment in all sorts of ways. Yeah. Any thoughts here? Anybody doing anything exciting today that they want to share? Or would you please be praying for the restoration of the stuff that was in the garage for me as I go through it a little bit more right now? I tried to sit everything out in the sun. I don't know I didn't have a lot of time, but took stuff out of the boxes with Penny's help, really just walking through a lot of water. It was about 30 minutes is all it took for us to clear out that portion of the garage, but that's why we were late. And then last night I just wasn't able to sleep, and then um, well, I wasn't upset at all. And then I did have a bit of a challenging conversation through, how you can text someone, and that is to be continued. um, so yeah, I bless you guys. I know everybody's got things going on in their lives, and we just need the Lord. We just need the Lord. Just stay in Him. Stay in Him. Yeah. Yes, we have a plumber here. All right. Bless you all. Love you, and I will see you soon. See you tomorrow.